Okay, guys, look at this video. Today, I am gonna tell you how the world is been manipulated. Alright, guys, so I'm gonna start from the original stuff. So recently, fake news has been making some headlines. Cause what isn't? Now we all know the government and Wikipedia, they're all related to the government. But every single time the government pushes off claims, misleading information, manipulating us to only one subject. We are being manipulated. We are basically being... Oh yeah, this is a part 1 series. Part 2 is coming tomorrow. We are being manipulated. We're living in a universe where everything we do doesn't matter. Because we're all gonna die at some point. Death is inevitable. We're not gonna escape it. A lot of people ask this question that there's no answer to. Why are we living when we're just gonna die at some point in time? Think about that. Okay? They didn't hang a banner for George Floyd. Okay? If George Floyd, when he died, if the police officer didn't kill him and he just happened to die, do you think George Floyd would have got the same exact treatment as if that police officer randomly died? No. Like I said before, you only die to get praise when something happens to you. When someone gets kneed on their neck for 8 minutes and then gets praised for it, because mind you ask, George Floyd is a criminal. He might have changed his ways, but we don't know that. So there you go. But George Floyd, gets praised like he's Christ. Okay? They're just manipulating the black color of someone's skin into this white narrative that all white people are mean and hate blacks and are mean-spirited. I don't need to go into it. You know what it is. So that spreads this fake news. And the fake news spreads quickly, my jacks. Okay, TikTok, created by Chinese people, making fun of someone's death that hasn't happened is not right. Like Vision on YouTube. Now, if you've seen Vision, there's a lot of these YouTube channels claiming that these people are going to die. They are manipulating us into thinking something that isn't true for one reason. And that one reason is, as those clowns or those sheep follow what people tell them, they're gonna believe it because someone's telling them. Like, I don't know, like reporters. Reporters, they tell what they want to tell. And these clowns or these sheeps believe it. This race war and riots all started because of this fake news. These reporters are basically starting a war of race. Because everything we do is a manipulation, alright? The riots wouldn't have happened if the cop didn't put his neck on there. Because there would be no riots, because there'd be no reason for riots. they have to make these reasons for stuff to happen. And that reason to kill George Floyd was a reason to riot, right? And Minneapolis got a hard shift on that because Minneapolis let people burn down their buildings because they were mad. They are also letting these people terrorize our country. Our country is being separated by these clowns, these sheep of the news, that are feeding into this sort of nonsense of what these Democrats are saying. Democrats are sort of terrorizing what America's built on. America's built on freedom and freedom of speech. If you go anywhere like Russia, I don't know, say China, you don't get much freedom of speech. They have to listen to the government. What I'm saying is that the government is slowly controlling everything that we do. Everything that someone does or anything that you do doesn't make any sort of influence in the world. Unless if you're, I don't know, a big name YouTuber. That's influence because you're like reaching a goal. But when you die and you reach those goals, what are those goals for? Okay? You're not going to be remembered as a guy that got, I don't know, his knee on his neck. That guy has got a banner. That guy was on sports. That guy was remembered. Why should he be remembered? As in if anyone else that's dead should be remembered. He had a bigger treatment because he was black. Because he got his neck kneed on him. Because he didn't deserve to die, I guess. But maniacs, George Floyd has been taking drugs. Or he has, like the media likes to say it, and the police officers have said it, that he's probably been taking drugs. Alright? And I'm gonna say if he did take drugs, because I think that was on his autopsy. If he took drugs, then he's no better than the cop that killed him. In fact, he isn't. Because they put basically two idiots together, and then it became a big mess. Because, well, what do you get? A careless cop and basically a criminal that no one likes. Yeah, it's not gonna mix well. But what I'm saying is everything that happens in this universe, okay, it happens for a reason. But those reasons are soonly just fading. Because, like I say, how do we get our news? By Fox and CBS and all those people. Now, what I'm going to bring up is, do they tell the news the way it was basically intended, the way that it's supposed to be reported? No, they leave almost every single thing that's informational out of the news. I don't know, Wikipedia is a big corporate for government. So this video is going to be about fake news. Now my next manipulation video is going to be about government spying. Alright, now they have literally praised this dude like he's some sort of Christ. Alright? For example, who has ever died and got their name painted on a building? Because there hasn't been any. This is just a blatant excuse for people that are black, just basically to feed into this sort of nonsense that white people are all just bad. And mind you, you should never paint a picture of a guy that's been in jail. I don't care if he got 8 minutes onto his neck. There is no proof that this guy was not doing something wrong. I mean, he was obviously using counterfeit money. He was breaking the law. It's already been, they already saw that, but they're both basically just stupid. So make sure to like and subscribe if you like this. Part 2 is coming up. Peace.